What if waking up at 3 a.m. wasn't a sign of insomnia but an invitation, a nudge from the universe or perhaps your own subconscious, to confront the questions you've been avoiding? For centuries, spiritual traditions and philosophical schools, including the Stoics, have taught us that the early morning hours hold a unique power. It's not just time slipping through your fingers. It's an opportunity for self-mastery. If you find yourself stirring in those twilight hours, don't fight it. Instead, lean into it. Here are 5 Stoic-inspired practices to transform those moments of sleeplessness into a wellspring of clarity, discipline, and inner peace. To the Stoics, time was life's most precious resource. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself to not waste time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Imagine what he would say about lying in bed at 4 a.m., scrolling through your phone, restless and frustrated. For the Stoics, sleeplessness wasn't a curse. It was a call to action. They believed that every moment, even those stolen from the comfort of sleep, was a gift, a chance to deepen your discipline, reconnect with purpose, and practice gratitude. Modern science might attribute early morning wakefulness to stress, hormonal changes, or a disrupted circadian rhythm. But let's look at it another way. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is the universe whispering, "This is your time. What will you do with it?" So, what should you do when you find yourself awake during these sacred hours? Let's dive into the 5 Stoic-inspired practices that can help you reclaim these moments as a transformative ritual. 1. Practice the view from above. When the world is asleep, the silence can feel oppressive or liberating. This is the perfect time to practice one of the Stoics' most powerful mental exercises, the view from above. Imagine yourself rising above your bed, your room, your house. Envision the streetlights below, the quiet neighborhoods, the sleeping city. Keep zooming out. Your country, the planet, the stars. In this vast interconnected cosmos, your momentary worries shrink into perspective. Why does this matter? Because waking up at 3 a.m. often stems from overthinking, whether it's financial stress, relationship issues, or existential dread. These thoughts can feel overwhelming in the still of the night. The view from above reminds us that our problems, while valid, are not as monumental as they seem. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. This practice isn't about denying your struggles. It's about reframing them. When you see your place in the grand scheme of things, the weight of your worries lessens, leaving room for gratitude and resolve. 2. Journal with ruthless honesty. The Stoics were prolific journalers. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations wasn't written for publication. It was a personal exercise in self-reflection. And what better time to confront your thoughts than in the solitude of early morning? Keep a notebook by your bed. When you wake up, resist the urge to reach for your phone. Instead, grab your pen. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of right now? What do I regret from yesterday? What can I do today to move closer to the life I want? Write without judgment, as if no one will ever read your words. The goal isn't perfection, it's clarity. By transferring your thoughts from mind to paper, you free yourself from the loop of rumination. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, advised, examine yourself, but don't stop at just finding faults. Take action to correct them. Your journal becomes a mirror for your soul, reflecting not just what is, but what could be. Have you ever noticed how the world feels different at 4 a.m.? The air is heavier, the silence thicker. It's as if the universe is holding its breath, waiting for you to decide who you're going to be. Will you squander this gift, or will you rise to meet it? 3. Embrace voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed in preparing for life's challenges by exposing themselves to discomfort. This wasn't masochism, it was training for resilience. Waking up at 3 a.m. is already uncomfortable. Why not lean into it? Try taking a cold shower. The shock to your system will jolt you awake and remind you of your strength. Or sit in silence for 10 minutes, resisting the urge to distract yourself. The discomfort of stillness is often more challenging than physical pain. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, practiced sleeping on hard floors and wearing simple clothing, even though he was wealthy. He did this to remind himself, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more who is poor." By choosing discomfort, you train your mind to face adversity with courage, and when the sun rises, you'll carry that strength into your day. 4. Meditate on mortality. At 4 a.m., when the world feels heavy and the shadows seem longer, it's natural to think about life's fragility. Instead of fearing this thought, embrace it. The Stoics practiced memento mori, or remember that you will die, as a way to prioritize what truly matters. As Marcus Aurelius reflected, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Imagine your life as a candle, its flame flickering in the night. How will you use the time you have left?" Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. can be a reminder, not of death as an endpoint, but as a guide to living fully. Write down 3 things you'd do today if it were your last. Would you call a loved one? Apologize to someone? Start the project you've been procrastinating on? Let this exercise ignite your purpose. When the first rays of sunlight break through the night, they don't just illuminate the world, they illuminate you. Who will you be when the dawn comes? A slave to your fears, or a master of your fate? 5. Plan your day with purpose. The final practice is perhaps the most practical. Use these early hours to set your intentions for the day. The Stoics were meticulous planners, not because they sought control, but because they valued focus. Ask yourself, what are my priorities today? How will I act with virtue, regardless of external circumstances? What distraction can I eliminate? Make a list, but keep it simple. Focus on what aligns with your values, not just what's urgent. Epictetus advised, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. When you approach your day with purpose, you transform even mundane tasks into acts of discipline and meaning. The world may still be asleep, but you're already living deliberately. Waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. can feel like a curse, but through the lens of Stoic philosophy, it becomes a blessing. These hours, quiet and undisturbed, are a chance to cultivate wisdom, resilience, and purpose. By practicing the view from above, journaling honestly, embracing discomfort, meditating on mortality, and planning your day, you transform restless nights into a ritual of self-mastery. The next time you find yourself awake in the early hours, remember, it's not just a sleepless night, it's a call to rise, not just from your bed, but into the best version of yourself. As the Stoics remind us, the path to peace isn't in avoiding discomfort, but in facing it with courage and intention. So when the clock strikes 3 a.m., what will you do?